Becky, Lynch, and Charlotte Flair are friends again, and Cody Rhodes finally remembers he has a story to finish. On this episode of SmackDown, we got Damage Control starting off the show in a wonderful fashion, getting the true Bloodline treatment. Bayley starts off by hyping up the newest addition to the group, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. But you can see that the rest of the group don't really care what Bayley has to say, and Asuka, Io, and Kairi sort of ignore her and just talk amongst themselves, which clearly makes Bayley feel out of the loop. And Dakota realizes this and tells Bayley that Asuka was saying that not everyone in the ring is a part of Damage Control. And with the suspense building and the insecurity showing on Bayley's face, everyone thinks they're talking about Bayley not being part of the group anymore. To which Dakota swerves us and says that it's because Bayley didn't formally invite Asuka in. Now this is interesting, because it looks like the rest of Damage Control don't really care for Bayley, but to some degree they do need her. Maybe for right now just as a number for WARGAMES, but it's obvious that Bayley's time in Damage Control is close to running out. But Shotzi ambushes them out of nowhere, with Charlotte and Bianca helping her out as well. But the numbers aren't in their favor as Bianca says to Shotzi backstage later on. But Nick Aldis tells them that he needs to know their fourth member before the night is over. And Aldis goes into his office, and Cody Rhodes is already in there waiting to talk to him. So Team Bianca goes to look for their fourth member, and throughout the show Bianca asks Mia Yim and Zelina Vega to join, but they get jumped by Damage Control right after. So by the end of the show there's no women left in the SmackDown locker room they could ask to join them. But next up is a triple threat tag team match for the #1 contender spot for the unified tag team titles that are currently being held by the Judgment Day, between the Brawling Brutes, Pretty Deadly, and the Street Profits. Now this match was fun. Every team had their spotlight moments, but in the end, after Butch accidentally brogue kicks Ridge Holland in the face, the Profits hit their finisher on him for the win. And this leads to some tension between the Brutes as Ridge is pissed off that Butch cost him the match. Now is this going to lead to Ridge Holland splitting from the group? Is Butch the one who's leaving instead and going back to being Pete Dunne? Or are they just going to keep going back and forth until their big bro Sheamus comes back and helps them repair their relationship? Who knows? But I'm happy that the Street Profits are back up. Now after what happened last week to Rey Mysterio, a match was set up for Dragon Lee versus NXT's Axiom in a way to honor Rey by having a showcase of lucha style wrestling. But speaking of Rey, Santos Escobar is a full-on heel now with his old legato theme song and stylish suits. This man cut an insane promo on Rey, and the theme of it was don't meet your heroes. And his reasoning for what he did to Rey was that Dominic was right, and Rey is a deadbeat who stole the US title from Santos, stole his group from Santos, and adding new members to it. And when push came to shove, Rey sided with Carlito over him. And Santos said some extra stuff like he hopes that his knee surgery went wrong and that he gets an infection and they amputate his leg. And Zelina Vega comes out in tears and slaps Santos, and Santos beats up the rest of the LWO, to which Carlito comes out to save them. And this prompts their match at Survivor Series, which I'm super excited about. After that, we got Grayson Waller versus Cameron Grimes, which was a good match. I love that Waller used the front flip on Prettier as a finish to get the win. But then moving on, we got the return of Solo Sikoa, and he's with Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso. And Heyman goes off on how badly Solo beat John Cena, and Heyman says goodbye for Cena to the fans. And then LA Knight comes out and talks crap about the Bloodline, and that he's gonna step over every member including Paul Heyman to get back to Roman. And this leads to LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. But after LA Knight gets the win, Solo comes back out and jumps LA Knight, and Jimmy gets involved, and out comes Cody Rhodes to help LA Knight, which has me thinking that maybe Cody went to SmackDown to ask if he could have someone from SmackDown to join his team for WARGAMES. Maybe LA Knight or a recently suspended Kevin Owens. Now for the main event segment, Team Bianca comes out and Charlotte was tasked with finding their fourth member. And as reluctant as Charlotte clearly was, right as she was about to introduce them, Bayley and Damage Control come out. And Bayley laughs about how there's no one left to ask to join their team, and that Charlotte has no friends, so Bayley tells Team Bianca that they are going to jump them, but through the crowd out comes the fourth member, Becky Lynch. Overall, this episode was amazing. Santos Escobar's promo was the highlight of the night for me, with how beyond messed up it was, but from a heel perspective, it was perfect. And I'm still into this Damage Control storyline, so this was a fun episode. But let me know your thoughts on SmackDown this week in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.